Today is a very rainy day in Bali. Very cozy, non-rush, just restful Sunday. I got to take a nap today, which I typically don't do. So it really felt good to kind of be restful. Although today is like one of those chill days where I am not doing things or I don't have the obligation for time. I've been reflecting on the fact that me and time, my relationship with time, and some of the things that I say to myself often about time. I grew up in a very typical black family, like black people time. Being late, the tendency of being late, the tendency of saying, "Oh, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes," but actually being like an hour, an hour late in, like still at home, still doing your hair, still doing your makeup. And then now that I'm here in Bali, it's very much the concept of being on island time. So I noticed this habit of not really showing up on time, and also the, I guess, lack of seriousness around time. Like, oh, I have time, or it's no worries, or it's no problem, which I definitely appreciate the relaxed nature around time. But a few, maybe last year, and I'm really looking forward to rereading it again. There is a book called 4,000 Weeks. And I really, like, I highly recommend this book. I highly recommend this book. It's not about being more productive or using your time to get more things done, but it's really about being intentional with how we choose our time, and also the reality of not really having all the time that we think we have to do all the things that we would like to do. So, where are we directing our time and our energy? What actually matters most to us in our lives, and giving our time to that and choosing how we spend our time. One of the most like impactful things from that book was just the exploration of how much time do we actually have here. So I think the average human life is about 4,000 weeks. And for me personally, if the average human lifespan is about 4,000 weeks, I have about 2,224 weeks left. So I'm almost at my halfway mark. I think about 51% of my life, or the time that the average human has here, I have already used. And so for me, this really puts into perspective, like, what is important for me? Where do I actually want to use the rest of my time? Like, what do I value? What quality of life do I actually want? I was reflecting on how I use my time, and I wrote some self-talk just to change the pattern of this idea of, oh, I don't have enough time, or I'm not on time, I'm always late, I'm a late person, it's just not a good time right now, maybe later, I'm just too busy right now. So all these subtle expressions of what I think about time, or how I'm using my time, or I'm just on black people time, or I'm on island time today, but really being intentional about the fact that I don't have all the time that I actually think I have. And may I really use my time here wisely, the time that I have, because I've already used so much of it up. And for me, it's not about being hard on myself and being fixated on time, but just showing up when I say I'm going to show up, being reliable, being respectful, honoring what time is, and making good use of the time that I have here to do the things that I find value in, that are important to me, to spreading kindness, to teaching, sharing wellness, to committing to things that I say are important, to the quality time that I have with people, to just really being mindful. I study Tibetan Buddhism, and that's a really big part of my life. And I really appreciate Tibetan Buddhism. I really appreciate the teachings in Buddhism so much, because for me, they really, like, it's not just a religion. It's like, wait, this makes so much sense. Like, for me, it really creates this urgency, this sense of urgency to live my life well. It creates this sense of urgency to be more compassionate, to be kinder, but not on a surface level. But like, why is this fundamental? Why is this important? It creates this urgency in how we use our time, impermanence. And so even with the teachings on impermanence in Tibetan Buddhism, they're incredibly profound, because we really do have the tendency, at least in my experience, so when I look around the world around me, whenever things come to an end, we might really feel like things just happen suddenly. All of a sudden this happened, all of a sudden this situation came, all of a sudden this circumstance, all of a sudden this person passed away, all of a sudden, we have this almost like all of a sudden kind of approach. But really, things are constantly moving. Everything is constantly moving. Even right now, like this body that I have, 30 years ago, this was a little body like this. And I didn't just wake up to this 30-year-old body. This 30-year-old body was changing from 30 years ago, and now this is the form that it is in, and it will continue. And right now, in this moment, it's changing. So many changes are happening that I can't see with my eye consciousness, but they're happening, and that's the reality. Sometimes we're very full we're very full because our eye cannot see something directly, but that doesn't mean that it's not happening. And so in the next 30 years, this form will be completely different. And it's not like I just woke up and I was in a different form, but it's from a series of unfolding, a series of causes, a series of conditions, and how this form will look in the next 30 years. So there is one practice that is so simple, and every now and then I really try to do this practice. And if you have a phone, if you have a computer, if you have a watch, you can do this. I'm using my phone to record this video, so I'm going to use my computer. And if you just pull up the stopwatch on your phone or computer or whatever it is, and if you press start, you can see how fast, like, this is what is happening right now. This is how fast we are moving. This is how fast things around us are moving. This is how time is manifesting itself. And it's crazy. Like, you can't even grasp it. Like, when you look, like, you literally can't grasp it. And so we tend to look at the more stable number, the one that we can kind of grasp and catch. But in reality, this is what is really happening, which kind of leads to this more gross form. So on a subtle level, everything is moving at a speed that we can barely even grasp. For me, when I look at time like that, when I look at this stopwatch, it's like, I do not want to play around with with time anymore. Like, I do not want to waste the time that I have. Like, I understand that things are impermanent. I understand that things are changing just by nature. Like, that's just the way things are. And I know I won't be here in 100 years, 200 years. Like, nothing around, none of this will even be here. Like, this whole thing. So really, what do I want to spend my time and energy doing? What is valuable to me? What is it that I value? What do I want to give attention to? What will actually help progress the world forward? In 100 years, this thing I'm grasping to right now, in 100 years, it won't even be there. It won't be useful. It won't be remembered. And typically, it tends to be the more material things, at least for me when I think about it, like grasping at the material things. Can I help create a world of more happiness, more peace, more kindness? Can I help create a world of just more mental well-being? Can I help create a world of more mindfulness, more inner peace? So for me, these are some of the questions that I like to ask myself when I reflect on time. If you have struggled with time in the past, if you struggle with time management, if you have struggled with feeling behind, if you have struggled with feeling late, not where you want to be right now. Even if you struggle with just trying to show up somewhere on time, finding your rhythm to show up to things that you find important. If you've had the thought that now is just not the right time to start the thing or to do the thing or whatever domain of life that it might be in, this is for you. Self talk for time management. I take a deep breath in. My stomach fills with air. My rib cage expands. My chest rises. I exhale and my entire body relaxes. Right now, I am using my time intentionally. I am breathing. I am noticing my breath. When I use my time like this, I feel more calm. I feel more grounded. I feel more relaxed. I know that I'm making good use of this moment because my body and my mind give me feedback. Sometimes I may notice myself saying, I don't have time. I'm too busy. I'll do it later. Now is not the right time. I'm always late. I'm just not good with time. I can recall a time when I was running late, missed a commitment, was rushing or delayed something until the last minute. I bring a clear memory to mind. I notice how I may have felt in my body: anxious, worried, frustrated, embarrassed. I check the feedback from my body and mind. I feel into my body when I delay something important. Time is about attention. Where does my attention go? When I say I don't have time, what I often mean is I am choosing something else. So I update this pattern. I say, this matters, and I will give it the attention that it deserves. I am not bad with time. I may have practiced this and strengthened a habit, but habits can change starting now. I lengthen my spine. I roll my shoulders back and I open my chest. I inhale deeply and I exhale the energy of being bad with time. I bring to my mind something important to me that I need to show up for: work, quality time with someone, a meeting, an appointment, class. I choose one and I see it clearly. I imagine the day, the weather, how I'll start my morning routine, what I'll wear, and I see myself preparing. I see myself feeling the urge to lie in bed longer, check my phone longer, snooze my alarm. I bring my entire attention back to showing up. I picture myself looking at the clock and feeling spacious. I feel the lightness and ease in my chest. I close what needs to be closed. I gather what needs to be gathered. I move towards the door calmly. I feel my hand on the doorknob. I notice all the sensations. I feel my feet walking towards the car or towards the building or towards the meeting place or wherever it is that I'm supposed to show up or start. I see myself arriving a few minutes early, not anxiously, but calmly and grounded. I feel my body as I arrive. My breathing is steady. My jaw and shoulders are relaxed, and my spine is tall. The brain and nervous system does not fully distinguish between vividly imagined rehearsal and lived experience. I rehearse a calm arrival. I rehearse prepared presence. I rehearse respect for time. I know what it feels like to show up. to give my attention to what is important to me and to arrive joyfully and with ease. I say, this is important. This cannot wait. This is worth my energy. This is aligned with the quality of life that I value. I notice where I may have leaked time in the past. I smile gently. There you are. I kindly acknowledge this behavior, and then I choose consciously. I move away from I never have enough time to I allocate my time intentionally. The identity of bad with time is not solid. It is just a pattern. And right now I am practicing a new pattern. I see myself sitting down, waiting calmly, and already grounded before I need to start or be present. Wherever I make a commitment, it is because I confirm that it is important, it cannot wait, it is worth my energy, it is aligned with the quality of life that I value, so I choose to give it my attention. If I get distracted, that is okay. If I lose track of what is important, that is okay. If the old pattern of being bad with time creeps back in, that is okay. I take a deep breath. I allow fresh new energy to energize my entire body. I exhale. I allow the old habit pattern, the old energy to pass. Here is a new moment. And in this moment, I show up for what's important.